One of the great skills that good negotiators and good mediators use is noticing something called switch tracking. So the work well is, again, going to these core sets of emotional interests. One of them is appreciation. Okay, have you ever been in a high-pressure work environment where things went off the rails? If so, you're gonna love as I break down this clip from Chef, where I will give you some tips from a mediator's perspective of how this whole situation could have been avoided and de-escalated and brought to a good end. So let's take a look.
Is Carl in there?
Yeah.
Hey, Carl.
Carl.
Are you planning on altering the menu?
Yeah, I can't do this right now, please. Just,
You know a lot is on the line today.
I know, that's why the menu has to be perfect.
Yeah, but I can help you plan it.
I can't do this right now. Just give me 5 minutes to get my staff going. I'll come and I'll walk you through the menu.
Carl, I've done this before. I can help guide you.
I don't need guidance right now. I need space. Okay? Thank you.
Can we have a little privacy, guys? Huh? I ask you to leave, you gotta look at Carl.
Okay, everybody, tomen cinco, take 5. Saquen todo el fuego, maricas.
You good? I got it. Go. Grab a coffee.
Okay, so let's stop here because we already can feel the tension between clearly the owner of the restaurant, played by Dustin Hoffman, whose name is Jack, and Carl, the chef. Dustin Hoffman's character already has made a big mistake. Why? Well, basically, the chef says, here's what I need. I need space. And that is just completely not heard in this moment. And one of the things that we know is that everybody has an emotional interest in having a sense of autonomy and an ability to make their own choices. And the boss here has already violated that. I think there's a second big mistake here, and that is that the boss basically, in front of the entire staff, embarrasses the chef. So he is not off to good footing here. And it's a common mistake that people with power make, is that they use their power instead of listening. But maybe it'll get better. Let's see.
Let's get something straight.
Yeah.
You don't talk to my staff like that. I talk to my staff. That side of the pass is you, this side is me. That was the arrangement that we had when you hired me.
Okay, not getting better. As predicted, you violate someone's autonomy, you embarrass them in front of other people, and it's going to escalate.
Now, will you listen to me for a minute? Carl, I get ideas. Sometimes my ideas work. I really don't care what magazine said that you're the next big thing. The fact is, you work for me in my restaurant, right? I've had chefs before you in this kitchen. I'll have chefs after you, okay?
All right, good talk. Let me get back to work.
Okay, this is going from bad to worse. We continue to see a power play here. And instead of using this as a moment to actually have a conversation, this is already turning into a bit of a pissing match where basically Jack is reminding Chef that the chef is nothing more than an employee.
Let me get back to work.
You know who's coming tonight. We're being reviewed by the most important critic in the city.
Yes.
You know that his
I'm aware.
online blog was sold to AOL
For $10 million.
That's right.
Yes.
You knew that?
Yes, I know.
Okay.
He's a big deal, and that's why I want to cook him a good menu.
You want to cook him a
Yeah,
good
I want to
menu?
cook him some good food.
Yeah, well then...
And our place is in a creative rut.
In a rut?
In a creative rut.
You do know that we're doing better than any place in the
I'm
neighborhood.
not talking about how much money we're making. I'm talking about creatively, the food that we're serving. It's the same food we've been serving for 5 years.
You remember...
One of the great skills that good negotiators and good mediators use is noticing something called switch tracking. What is switch tracking? Switch tracking is when a conversation seems like it's about A, but then someone else responds with B, and then instead of responding to B, the other person starts with C. And that's what we see happening here. The chef, Carl, says, we're in a creative rut. Jack doesn't hear that. Jack instead says, our restaurant is completely full. Those two comments are completely unrelated to each other. And then Carl responds and basically repeats, yes, we're in a creative rut. So what we want to be noticing here, again, is the absence of any listening, the continued use of power, and an increase in emotion here. All signs that de-escalation moves are what's needed, but we don't see it happening.
Do you remember what happened when you put guts on the menu? Huh?
Are you talking about my sweetbreads? Is that what you mean by guts?
Yeah.
Yeah, name calling isn't really helpful either. So sweetbreads, calling them guts, probably unlikely to respect the autonomy and the creativity of the chef.
When you put that artsy on the menu, people don't like it. Not one person ordered your sweetbreads. Please listen to me. I sank a fortune into the remodel to get you the French cookie top, whatever it is, that tabletop.
French cooking suite.
Right. Not every chef gets that.
No,
You know
I
why you
appreciate
get
it.
it?
I appreciate
You know why? Because you deserve it. So you don't know that, but I know it. You deserve it. So be smart, just for tonight. Look.
Okay, because I want to be a little bit gentle on Jack. A worked well and a do differently. So the work well is, again, going to these core sets of emotional interests. One of them is appreciation. And we see here Jack actually appreciating Carl, saying, you actually deserve this French sweet. And that's highly effective. We actually also see Carl appreciating the gift of the French sweet. So this is a moment where maybe this negotiation can turn to something better. But then Jack says, be smart just for tonight. So he fritters it all away because the implication is you're generally not smart about the choices you make when you're cooking, particularly for online reviewers. So try to be smart just this once. Unhelpful.
Look, if you bought Stones tickets and Jagger didn't play Satisfaction, how would you feel? Would you be happy?
No.
No. You'd burn the place to the f***ing ground. Your menu works. People love it. Carl, do what you want tonight. Okay, you're the chef. You know what I think? I think you should play your hits.
Okay. Does anyone really believe that when Jack says, Carl, do what you want tonight, that that's sincere? At this point, it's absolutely not. The chef has absolutely no real choice here. He either disappoints his boss or he's creative. Ugh. Let's watch the second clip. Maybe it gets better.
All right, let's go. Pre-shift, guys. At work.
Carl, we're staying with the same menu, right?
I have something really good planned for tonight. I'm gonna let you say it's not sweetbreads. You're gonna be able to taste it.
That may be true, but we have the most reservations we've had on a work night since we opened. You realize that?
I know. I was on Twitter. I was promoting the restaurant. I was
What?
on Twitter.
Yeah, that's another thing. From now on, before you post anything online, I okay it. All right?
The
What?
whole reason everybody's here tonight is because I called out Ramsey and Michelle online, and they're all coming to watch me stick it in his.
Yeah, and you're going to Twitter an apology for calling the most respected critic in Los Angeles.
I'm not gonna apologize to that guy.
What do you mean you're
You
not
see what he
gonna-
wrote about me?
I don't give a what he
started
wrote
it.
about you. I don't care.
Okay, so we can see here where things are escalating. Again, why? No listening, power plays, escalation. Again, think about this, right? Carl is saying, hey, I tweeted something to help us. And even if Jack doesn't think that's helpful, the thing to do there is to actually do some active listening. Wow, so your purpose was to be helpful. Thank you, right? That's also appreciation. Then he could say, here's what I actually think might have been helpful. But instead, right, he basically criticizes not only the action, but the effort. There's no appreciation here. And so it's no wonder that this is escalating even more.
I don't care. You're a cook. You're a chef. This is what you've been cooking for years, and it works. And either you cook the menu that our customers have come to...
You want me to cook the same food?
The same exact...
The same food that he ripped apart? The same guy who's coming tonight?
The restaurant isn't filled with critics. It's filled with people that have been eating your food for the last 10 years. So now suddenly you're going to be an artist. Well, be an artist on your own time.
Listen to me.
No sweetbreads, no calves brains.
I'm not cooking sweetbreads. Listen to me. The kitchen is my domain. That was our deal.
I don't give a what the deal was. The deal has now changed. Either you stay or you go. It's up to you. End of discussion.
Okay, so Power Play City results in a take it or leave it offer. Totally not required, right? So much opportunity here for value creation between these two parties. The interest in getting people into the restaurant and having a reliable menu with some staples that everybody loves is completely consistent. It is not in any way in conflict with having some things on the menu that are creative and new and allow the chef to try out some new things and feel like he can be artistic. But the way this has been set up is completely zero-sum in nature.
We got a full house of people.
Yeah.
Who are coming tonight.
Yeah.
To eat my food.
No, it's not your food, Carl. It's not your food. By definition, it's my food because it's my restaurant. I pay for the glasses. I pay for the napkins. I pay for the spoons. I pay for Molly's salary. I pay for your entire staff's salary, okay? So you either cook my menu or Tony can. Tony, you've been cooking it.
Okay, now it's coalitions. Peel off the assistant. Oof, and loyalty tests.
Am I threatening to fire you? No, I'm telling you what I'm prepared to do if you don't cook my menu. Subject closed.
Well, why don't you cook the menu without a chef, and we see how it goes. We see how it goes tonight. Let's go, Tony. This.
Okay, so this is ending in an unpleasant divorce, which came about because of no active listening, the use of power plays, and a sad but common thing that happens in disputes, some of you might have seen it, where we take something that is entirely collaborative and possible to actually meet all the parties' interests and make it purely zero-sum, where there's supposed to be a winner and a loser. And you know where it ends? 2 losers. And this restaurant probably goes downhill. So if you want to know how a situation like this could be mediated, watch this next video on how to mediate a conflict between 2 employees. Sorry, get some sweetbreads and keep on watching. Yum yum.